going to try to run through this pretty fast because there's a lot of stuff to code through here, and I don't want to take up too much time. So while this is playing, I'm just going to preamble. Okay, that's over. Let's go. We have news. We have the news. Warner has actually done something. If you don't know what I'm talking about, quick recap. Warner Music Group, YouTube, having a spat. Warner Music Group is all getting yanked off of YouTube. So, okay, Warner has finally said something. They've finally done something. They've taken action. They've opened up a hotline. I'll save you guys the effort. If you want to call them up, here's the phone number. You can try calling them up yourselves. But all you're going to get is the same thing that I got, and that's voicemail. The best that Warner's got right now is leaving a voicemail message that reassures you in a very bored-sounding voice that, oh, we're trying to resolve the issue so that we can have the content back up on YouTube. And then they urge you to leave your name, your phone number, and all your contact information so that they can get back to you at their convenience. That means that they're going to just listen to all the messages and probably just toss them away, if they even listen to them at all. So if you want to call them up, go ahead. The phone number should be, I'm probably moving it around a little bit, but go ahead, give them a call if you want to, leave a message if you want to, but it's voicemail. It's not a real human being. Oh, wait, there's one other thing that Warner did. Warner did one other thing, too, which is nice of them. They said that they're going to be trying to create a Hulu for music. Yeah, they're going to try to create a streaming audio service so that we can get streaming audio of all of our favorite Warner bands and that we can listen to on our convenience. Hey, Warner, I'm saying this as a friend. I'm saying this as a music lover. I'm saying this as somebody who's sympathetic to you wanting to make money. You don't have a fucking clue. We don't want your streaming music. We don't want to have all your craptastic music jammed down our throat along with the stuff that we happen to like. No. What we want is we want the ability to create things and be inspired by people who have inspired us. Okay, hang on. Let me jump around here a little bit because there's a couple things that need to be addressed. And this is stuff that people have been saying over and over again on YouTube and so on and so forth that absolutely needs to be talked about at this point. The first one is the biggest thing that I've heard people say, and that is, I bought the music, I should have the rights to use the music any way that I want to. Well, black and white law says no, you can't. By black and white law, basically the law states that when you purchase music, all you're doing is purchasing the rights to listen to the music for your own personal enjoyment. Matter of fact, I think that's what the record companies want. They want us to sit at home with a pair of headphones on, just listening to the music and not sharing it with anybody. It's kind of like, you know, auditory masturbation, or as I like to call it, oral sex. Now, there's about 10 English majors laughing their asses off right now, and everybody else going, oral sex? And going like, you know, urbandictionary.com or something and trying to figure out what the hell I'm talking about. The second thing I hear a lot of people saying is, well, I'm not making any money off of this. I don't see what the problem is. I don't see a dime from these videos. Well, no, we do not see a dime off of these videos. But the logo guys up there, they're trying to. YouTube is not charging us to put the videos up here. No, the way that they're making money is with banner ads. And matter of fact, if you don't have an ad blocker, there's probably a banner ad over my head, which is wonderfully ironic, actually. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to make money off the videos that we produced. Instead of us being paid for content, we're getting free hosting, and it's being paid for by people up here. Now, here's the problem, and that is that Warner is looking at YouTube saying, hey, YouTube, you're making money off of our music, and we demand to get paid. As far as I know, YouTube really hasn't turned a profit yet, but okay, whatever. So YouTube's lawyers believe that they have to pay Warner a specific amount of money for every song that's downloaded that has Warner music in it. The problem is, and this is something I've seen on a couple of websites, you can do your own research on this one, is that their banner ads are not offsetting the cost of their contract with Warner. You know as soon as this whole thing was going to fall apart, you know that YouTube was just sitting there with their finger on the button, just waiting to pull the trigger. And then when it happened, when Warner made their last-second demand, YouTube went, yes! We can get out of the contract. And they just started yanking videos. Some other people are saying, well, you know what, I'm just going to boycott. I'm going to boycott Warner. I'm going to boycott YouTube. I'm going to leave all this crap behind. Well, first of all, there's a problem with that. The first problem is that if you boycott Warner, Warner's attached to a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff here. So if you're going to be boycotting Warner, then there's a lot of things you're not going to be watching or listening to or reading. So be aware of what you're getting yourself into. And as far as boycotting YouTube, well, a lot of people are choosing that option. They're going to different video sites. I'm not going to burn the sites. You guys know where they're going. And, you know, that's not a really great answer either, because all that we're doing is we're delaying the inevitable. Yeah, we're all going to migrate over to another server, and then we go to that server, and Warner's just going to follow us over here and go, no, we're going to do this here. So we're going to move to another server, and then Warner will follow us. And we'll move to another server, and Warner will follow us. That's the problem that we have to solve. The original concept of copyright law was to protect the immediacy of a work. The idea was that you couldn't just write something, have somebody else photocopy it, and then slap their name on it and claim it as theirs. That was the original intent. So now the copyright is basically a lockdown. You've got these people who own the copyrights to stuff for over 70 years. Matter of fact, I mentioned this in the other video, that the song Happy Birthday, it's over 100 years old, and Warner's still cashing 5 figures on that every time somebody uses it. Yeah, Warner. Which actually brings me to one other point here, and that is that we are all copyright violators. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Tiger, I don't copyright violate. I don't do anything bad. Hey, did you catch that really cool football game the other week? Yeah, the big super game. Did you catch that? Did you talk about it around the water cooler? I hope you didn't, because that's copyright violation. You see, there's a little slate on there that says you may not disseminate any information or rebroadcast it without the express written consent of the NFL, which means that if you talked about it around the water cooler, you're a copyright violator. Now let's say you're a video blogger and you happen to be wearing a t-shirt that has somebody's logo on it. Well, that's a copyright violation because you're not allowed to do that. Let's say you're driving down the street and a really cool song comes on the radio and you crank it up. You're now a copyright violator because you're now rebroadcasting music to the general vicinity around you. And let me give you another fun one. The DMCA, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Great act, has some great ideas in it, but the problem is with that is that because of that we're all now copyright violators. If you send somebody an email, and then they send you back an email with your email quoted in theirs, that's a violation of your copyright because the DMCA basically states that anything that is written is assumed automatically to be copyright of the person who wrote it. And you may not quote it without their permission. Generally speaking, we don't fuck with that. We don't look at that and go, well, gosh, you know, I'm going to sue this guy for copyright violation because we know it's fundamentally stupid. But that's something that we do. As internet people, we ignore a lot of the copyright laws because it blocks mental evolution. It blocks this ability to create and then to put a twist on it and make it better, and then pass it along. Problem is that these large businesses don't quite get it. So the new model of business should be that they have to understand that they have to share a little bit, that they have to give a little bit to get a lot more. Now, I've read all the comments, so I know what you guys are saying about the videos that I put up there already, and one of the biggest comments that I see are from people saying, well, you know what, you're right, Tiger. When I hear something, I ask who the artist was, and then I go on iTunes and I buy it. Or I go to the store and I go buy it. They're not saying, hey, I'm going to go over and go get a pirated copy. No, we're purchasing these things. So you have to give a little to get a lot more. And that's the message that we need to pass on to Warner. That's the message we need to pass on to Sony, to Universal, to all these other companies, is that you've got to give us a little bit in order to get a lot more from us. Let me give you the punchline to all this. Let me give you the joke to end all jokes in this. After I put up that last video, not the death one, but the other one, when I put up that video, about a week or change later, I get a message in my inbox from YouTube. And it's from a producer. Email says to me, hey, we're looking for video content. Do you happen to have anything we can use? Yeah, I got a word you can use. Hypocrites. Now we have television producers who are culling the internet looking for content. They don't even have original ideas of their own. They're looking to us. They want our ideas. They want our videotape. They want our stuff. This goes beyond what the fuck. This goes well beyond anything like it. On one hand, we've got these large corporations, we've got these big networks, and we've got these big production companies who are telling us, no, you can't be creative, you can't use this content, you can't be inspired, because we're going to rip it down off of the servers where you're using it. And then on the other hand, they're saying, but you know what, we're going to ask you if you've got any videotape that you can use, because we're fresh out of ideas, and we really need you guys. You can't have it going both ways here, folks. You can't be slamming us and begging us at the same time. So I'm going to say it one more time, and maybe this time it'll get through to the large corporate bigwigs out there. You can either work with us, and you can understand us, and you can give us a little bit, you can cut us a little bit of slack, you can understand that we are not trying to steal your product, we are trying to enhance your product, and you can say to us, hey, we like what you do, we want to work with you, we want to embrace you, we want you guys to become a better community, we want to be part of your community, or we're just going to do what we're doing right now. We're just going to drop your asses on the side of the road, and we're going to say, see you guys later, and we're going to move on without you. Your choice.